all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakapadash. Yahawah is who the world ignorantly calls God. In the name of his son, Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. In the name of the Harakapadash, which is the Holy Spirit. I would also like to give a double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone that have taught me this truth. And I would like to say a sincere shalom unto the hopeful elect, to the servants, the prophets, the true and sincere men that are prophesying and laboring in this truth and in this doctrine unto you. I say shalom. World war as well as civil war. Everyone's, they kind of understand that it's going to be a potential world war in the near future. Who knows, this year, next year, but it's on the brink. But no one's talking about the civil war that's going to take place here in America. Okay, it's going to be World War for sure. All right, that's inevitable. All right, you got these nations, with the whole thing going on with Gaza and Palestine and Israel. That's the whole world is watching that now. All right, that's going to draw these nations in, and that's what the Lord Yahawashi wants. The Lord wants to bring these nations to the Middle East. Okay, He wants these nations to be at odds with each other because they're gonna bring actually their own demise along with America's. Okay, but world war is going to happen. It's inevitable. All right, it's just only a matter of time. All right, everyone's everyone's on the chessboard waiting for the next move. All right, but it's the Heavenly Father who's actually controlling all the pieces on the chessboard. All right, but the Civil War is going to ensue also. You're going to have Civil War here in America as well as World War, and no one's really worried about that right now. That's going to happen. It is bound to happen. Okay, but let's get into the World War because I just put up this article. There's several articles, speaking on the tensions of Palestine and Israel, and you got China making agreements with Russia. They're backing each other now. Of course, Iran is in the mix right along with America, and you can't forget about Russia and Ukraine. So all these conflicts are happening. And while everyone is just sitting back, thinking everything is cool. Okay, NBA basketball kicked off today, and everyone is in their comfort zone. Okay, but the world's war is happening on the other side of the world right now. But eventually, those actions, those things that take place over there, are going to affect you, stupid ass people here in America. All right, and that's the same thing they thought about the C-19. That that's over in China. It could never. That's over there. They'll deal with it. And lo and behold, that shit hit here. And it hit here hardest. Okay? So let me start off with, I'll read the title of this article. Russia says it rehearsed massive nuclear strikes, all right? And these nations, Russia, Iran, North Korea, China, and those are, you can say, foes of America and NATO and the EU right now. Well, eventually the NATO, the EU, are going to join forces with those countries and to take Babylon the Great out, take this whore out. Okay, but and all those nations, all right, possess those ICBM missiles. All right, which is ultimately going to finish this world's war. With America being wiped off the face of the earth. All right, wiped off the map. Okay, so Russia is rehearsing it. So basically, it's like like practice, all right? You practice it for the big game. You practice it for the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl or the World Series or whatever. You practice it, and so when the game comes, you'll be ready. And that's all these nations are doing. They're doing joint military drills together. All right, they're sharing top secrets and shit like that. These nations are really positioning themselves to win this world's war. But little do they know that they all going to be runners up, all right? Because Yahawashi is coming back with the host of heaven to take out and defeat all these nations. Okay, this is let me start off with the Book of Revelations, chapter 11, real quick, 11 and 14. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." All right, so that third woe, that woe means destruction. That second woe, which was World War II, it passed. Okay, that was over 70 years ago. But the third woe coming quickly, and people never thought that they would live in a time where they would live in the third World War. All right, but it's a lot of the majority of people on the earth are going to be part. Now I won't say partake, but they're going to live in this third world war. All right, and you have these nations that were, at one time weak economically, weak military wise. They build up their militaries. Okay, they may have had to starve out their people to do so, but hey, they sacrifice. Okay, this is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days, and at that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Yahawashi. It says Jehoshaphat, but Yahawashi means the Most High's judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. All right, so the Lord is bringing all these nations because one way or another, all these nations had a hand in the downfall and the captivity of the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They all had a hand in it. So the Lord is bringing them to the valley of His judgment, or where He's going to judge these nations. Okay, where He's bringing them down there to fight each other. All right, so they can so they can basically do His will. All right, let me jump down to verse 8. Oh, excuse me. Verse 9, proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So all these nations are preparing themselves, preparing their citizens for war. All right, it's not a time of peace. All right, there will be no peace treaties. All right, with this whole Palestine and Israel thing, it's not going to die down. It's not going to be one of those conflicts where one side waves a white flag and then it's not going to happen like that. This is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And you have the neighboring countries, Lebanon, Syria. Everyone's waiting to see what's going to happen next. What's going to be the next move? Iran are all waiting to see what's Israel's next move going to be. Okay, Russia's waiting. America's waiting. America, they kind of have their they're in cahoots with Israel, of course. So they know what the next move is going to be, but they don't want to make that next move because their next move may lead us into this war. It's going to happen, okay? And Esau, deep down, all right, they know that they can't win this war. They know their military is already run thin. Okay, they don't have the foot soldiers. They may have the technology, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of casualties, on both sides. And in these times, there's going to be more casualties on the American side than ever before. Okay, verse 11: assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Let the heathen be wakened and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahawashi. For I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. The Lord is going to sit and judge. All right, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Oh, actually, Slakia, I skipped an important verse. Verse 10: beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what you're seeing right now. All right, these once weak nations that were weak, had weak militaries, had weak where they were weak economically, they're saying they're strong now. They're standing up to the big bully. Okay, they've put all their resources for the past 30, 40 years into military. All right, into these ICBM missiles. All right, those ICBM missiles are the great equalizer that America, along with Israel, doesn't want these other countries to have. That's why they were having such a big push for denuclearization. They want everyone to denuclearize, but they don't want to give up theirs. And all the other countries, they say that's bullshit. They're not about to give their nukes up. All right, when they starve their people out and took L's after L in order to obtain these nuclear weapons, they ain't about to give them up because they possess them for the Lord's purpose. Okay, for them to be shot here on America. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. Gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Let the heathen be wakened and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahawashi. For I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. All right. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. And we're nearing that day of the Lord. When all these destruction, all these calamities, everyone's going to be at odds with each other, is going to take place. And you're seeing it. All right. You're seeing these nations. All right. You have to have eyes that really see what the hell is going on. You just can't be one of these people that look, oh, pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, ain't shit going to happen. You have to, you got to be in tune with prophecy. You got to be occupied in prophecy, as the book of Sirach 39:1 says. All right, if you're not occupied in prophecy, you just a fucking zombie out there. All right, pretty much waiting on the missile. Um, this is Isaiah 54 and verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals, and the fire that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. That waster is those ICBM missiles. All right, the Lord put the spirit on those German scientists to create this, nuclear bomb. All right, I don't know how they cut the neutron, or however they create this shit, man. It was all the Lord to put the spirit on them to create it. All right, so it can be used. These nations aren't gathering all these ICBM missiles to store in the lab, or not store in the lab, store in the museum. Okay, they're not practicing shooting, firing these missiles out of these silos and shit just for fireworks, just to see a show. They're doing these things ultimately to take out America. All right, because in these nations' mind, mainly Russia and China, they feel that they're the next superpower and they're going to rule. All right, but little do they know that Yahawashi, all right, is coming to take these nations out and to rule forever. With Yahawashi, King David, and the 144,000. All right. Let me go to Isaiah 34. Then I'm going to also get into the Civil War, because no one's really speaking of the Civil War that's going to take place. All right, with all these calamities and shit going on around the world, it's going to hit home. All right, you're going to see this government begin to squeeze your resources. All right, to begin to, you're going to see a lot of draconian laws. You're going to see a lot of death out here in these streets. All right, and when people, Apostle Ramlab always says, is when people have nothing to lose, they lose it. All right. This is Isaiah 34:2. The indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out. Their stink shall come out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. All right, that's talking about the great slaughter of World War III. All right, but it says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. All right, so you're going to have the anger of the Lord upon these nations. That's why they're going to press the button. That's why these once allies of America are going to come against them, because they don't, they may not really hate America, but the Lord's going to put his indignation, his anger on these nations to come against America. All right, full force. Verse 4, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and their hosts shall fall down, and as a leaf falleth from the vine, as a falling fig from the fig tree. And that it just described that mushroom cloud, all right, rolled together as a scroll. It also says that in the book of Revelations, I believe 12 or 11, where, that's the prophet Isaiah describing the mushroom cloud. That's what's going to end America, okay? 200 million missiles. All right, says in the book of Revelation, I believe 6 or 7 chapter. Verse 5, my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse for judgment. Idumea is Esau, Edom. Okay, the Lord's that sword is going to be bathed in heaven. Okay, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the fat of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And this is the land of Basra. This is the land of Idumea that we're living in. All right, the Lord is a gift. Of course, parts of the Middle East are going to be destroyed. But the Lord is not talking about Basra in the ancient world, Idumea. It's talking about America. He said a great slaughter. It's going to be a great slaughtering here, all right? And which is going to, of course, it's going to start with the civil wars and the race riots and shit like that. But ultimately, it's going to be those ICBM missiles that take out this place. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon. Babylon is America. Okay, this place is spiritually Babylon. This is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Babylon the Great. This is that land that we're living in. I'll start again. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and shall set themselves in array against her. And from thence shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Those arrows represent those ICBM missiles that's going to hit this place, and none are going to return in vain. It's not going to be a missile that's shot off that doesn't hit its target. Every single inch of America, Babylon, will be hit. Or it's not going to be no missiles that they just come short of hit the beach or something. All these missiles are going to take this place out. All right, but it said in the beginning of it, I will assemble an assembly of great nations. All these nations, all right, that have these ICBM capabilities are going to come against America. All right, World War III is here. All right, you just have to have eyes to see it. All right, World War III is pretty much started over on the other side of the country. All right, you just don't have the major players involved yet. All right, like the Russians, the Chinas, okay, the Irans. All right, this is Ezekiel 38:4. I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws. I will bring thee forth in all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company of bucklers and shields, all them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer, that's Turkey. All his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarter, all his bands, and many people with thee. Shit. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, though, and all the company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Let's see. Many days shall thou be visited, the latter years shall thou come into the land that is bought back from the sword, and gather out many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nation, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. And that's talking about the elect. The elect is going to dwell safely. But in that day, in these days, the Lord is putting hooks in the jaws of these nations. Okay, and like it said in the book of Joel, they're beating their plowshares and their pruning hooks into spears. Okay, they're putting all their resources into a war. Okay, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya. All right, and it says, I think I haven't read it yet, that Gog and Magog, which represent Russia, are going to be a guard unto them. Let's see. Yeah, but these nations, all right, even Iran, Iran, Syria, some of those northern African countries, Russia is being a guard unto them. Okay, and just like Israel's big brother, hey, all these other nations, Russia, China, they are their big brother. All right, so when shit get really out of hand, you're going to see these larger nations step in. Okay, let's see. Because the Lord is not bringing peace. Let me get this in Luke 12. Everyone's praying for peace. There's going to be peace, and it's not going to be peace in Palestine and Israel. It's not going to be peace in Ukraine and Russia. There will be no peace treaties. All right, that's what you people have to realize. All right, the Lord is not coming to bring peace. He says that. It says Luke 12 and 51. Suppose that I come to give peace on earth, I tell you nay, but rather division. All right, and transitioning over to this the civil war that's going to take place. That's what you're seeing. All right, you're seeing a great divide amongst all these nations, but eventually they're going to come together and see that they have a common enemy. But here in America, you're already seeing a great divide amongst the people. Okay, you got people being divided on the whole Palestine-Israel thing, pro-Palestine, pro-Israel. All right, and that's people are drawing. People have been drawing the line. All right, with Trump and Biden. Okay, the line is being drawn in the sand. All right, are you this or are you that? If you're not on the side of Yahawashi Yahawashi, you're through. Okay, this is Mark 3:23, and he called unto him, and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself, be divided, he cannot stand, but had an end. Okay, so the kingdom is clearly divided. Okay, this kingdom is divided, and you're going to see even a greater divide once we come into this. Lord willing, we make it the next year. Because it's a lot of prophecies that have to still take place. The MOTB, of course, is one of the main ones. But next year, when this election kicks off, or this election campaign, you're going to see a greater divide. All right, and it's just going to get worse. It's going to be Edomites against Edomites, and then Edomites is going to take out their anger on Jay. And there's going to be these race riots. Yahawashi spoke of this. Nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. What's that talking about? That's talking about, it's talking about the greater nations, the Russias, the Chinas of the world, but it's also talking about these nations of people. All right, meaning these Edomites, these Jakes, all right, these heathens. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So all those calamities are going to happen. That's just the beginning of sorrows. All right, nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom. All right, these famines. All right, the lack of bread. All right, certain pestilent disease that's going to cause division. People are going to covet after certain things. All right, people are going to covet after medicines and foods and anything that they can get their hands on. All right, that's going to cause a divide. People that were once friends, all right, lifelong friends, neighbors, they're going to fight against each other. Everyone's going to be divided. All right, who's not going to be divided is the elect that put their trust in Yahawashi Yahawashi. They're not going to be in these race riots. True men of the Lord and their families are not going to be caught up in all this bullshit out here in the streets. Okay, but the majority of the people will. The majority of the people are going to die, of course, when America's be destroyed. But it's going to be a lot of death in the street even before the missiles come. Okay, let me get Isaiah 19 and 2. The reason I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, against city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. The Lord is setting everybody at odds. Like I said, on a global level, even at a national level, or the local level, city against city. How city against city going to fight each other? Shit, they're going to be fighting for resources. They're going to maybe fighting for water. You may have a truck come in, and the truck comes in between the city, one city and another city. You're going to have one city fighting against another city for possible food and water. Okay? Neighbor against neighbor. Everyone against his brother. Okay? And that's to say the Egyptian against Egyptian. You're going to have these Edomites fighting against these Edomites. Of course, you're going to have Jake got out there tussling and getting involved in the bullshit when they shouldn't even be involved in that, because that's not their fight. Okay? But this is our fight right now, fighting for salvation. All right? Pushing the word of Yahawashi Yahawashi. All right? Let me get second Ezra's 6 and verse 22. 22. 24. 24. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. It says friends fighting against friends like enemies. That's division. Okay? Yeah, it's going to be a civil war. It's going to be an all-out war all throughout the world, but the civil war here in America is going to take place. It's going to get bloody. That's what people not banking on. People banking on, okay, this is a war. They think it's going to be Afghanistan. They think it's going to be Desert Storm. What's another one? It's going to be Iraq. It ain't going to be nothing like that. Okay, because people are going to be drafted. People are going to be deployed. And at the same time, you're going to have people here in the States fighting over resources. Okay, fighting over, I can't say they're going to fight over money because money's going to be gone. Money's going to be useless. They're going to be fighting over food. Food is going to be one of the main commodities that people are going to fight over. Water. All right, eventually shelter. All right, guns. All right, ammunition. Shit like that. That's what people are going to be fighting over. People are going to be killing over. All right, that's man. Jake don't realize, how bad shit going to get out here. Okay, but hey, 2nd Ezra 15 and 16 bring it all to life. Okay, everything in these scriptures are going to come alive. They're going to jump off the page, and if you're going to say, "Damn, I read about that," like, oh shit, this is happening. All right, this is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein! The sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another people, and swords in their hand. What does that sound like? That sounds like some type of civil war. That sounds like some type of uprising against the government. I have to even mention that. You're going to have people uprising against the government. Okay? That's another division. All right? At one point, people were, some people were opposed to the government, but at the majority of the people, they respected their government. All right? They believed their government. But it's going to get to a point where people are going to realize that the government was full of shit. The government lied to them. The government got them in the situation that they're in. All right, and what are they going to do? They're going to rise up against their government. For sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the courts of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. It's sedition. All right, invading one another. All right, but not regarding their kings, not regarding their presidents, not regarding their mayors, their governors. All right, their local, their state officials. They ain't gonna regard none of that shit. Like I said, they're gonna uprise against this government. Okay, verse 18. For because of their pride, cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So all these things are happening. You think people are going to be together and kumbaya? People are going to be. Man, it's shit gonna be crazy out here. And Jake don't realize how bad it's gonna get. Niggas think that world wars that's happening over there, and they like, man, when the shit that's happening over here hits in America, it's gonna be that much more devastating because people here are just so used to having everything at their fingertips. They're used to dwelling safely. It's not gonna be safe. Okay, imagine hearing gunshots at night in the daytime. All right, you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what the hell is going on. All right, you scared to leave your home. Okay, but hey, you may have to leave because hey, some niggas may come through and ransack. That's how real it's going to get out here. You don't want to hide. You want to seek refuge. You want to call the police. You can't call the police. You don't know what the fuck to do. And if you're going to really bug out if you don't have the covering of Yahawashi. All right, that's what it really boils down to. All right, yeah, putting your faith and trust in the Lord and having the angels guide you in that day. All right, the scripture says that angels encampeth around them that fear them and delivereth them. Actually, I'm going to get that. Because that's the only way for the elect to make it up out of here. Those angels, the spirit of Yahawashi. All right, trusting and believing on Yahawashi. This is 2nd Ezra 16. And I'll start at verse 22. I may jump down. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. The dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. So with all these things going on, the dead being cast out, what does that sound like? That sounds like all-out war. That sounds like a civil war. That sounds like an uprising. All right, that sounds like anarchy. That sounds like death. Okay, if you don't have this, have the covering of Yahawah Yahawashi. All right. Yeah, that's all I wanted on that. I want to grab Psalms 91. All right, because speaking on these things, prophesying about these things, and a sincere Jake wants to know, well, shit, how do I get saved from this? What can I do? How do I escape these calamities? Hey, putting your faith in Yahawah Yahawashi. All right, hey, calling upon His name in your time of trouble, in your time of need. All right, practicing your faith, building your faith. That's how you overcome this. Okay, that's how you overcome this impending danger. All right, this civil war. Okay, this is Psalm 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Okay, that secret place is His truth. Okay, this is where we have refuge. This is where we're safe. All right, we're leaning on these scriptures to comfort us in these times. We'll contemplate these scriptures to comfort us in these times. All right, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His trust shall be thy shield and buckler. We don't need that fight. We don't need the shields. We don't need guns. The Lord is going to be our shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. So all these things going on: world war, civil war, destruction, death. Hey, if you abide under that secret place, dwell in that secret place of the Most High, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Of course, maybe times we're going to be scared, we're going to be frightened. All right, our heart may flutter, and we may get anxiety, but we have this truth. We have your names of Yahawah Yahawashi to lean upon. Okay, the Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear. Okay, that's how we're going to escape these calamities. All right, let me get a few more scriptures from Psalms, and I'm gonna close it out. Psalms chapter 34 and verse 6 and 5. Verse 6, the poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him and delivereth them. All right, hey, in the time of Jacob's trouble, all right, when it's civil war, when it's all out anarchy, every man for himself, the Lord is going to have the angels guiding the elect, okay, to deliver them from their troubles, okay. To God, to have the Spirit tell you, go this way, go right, go left. All right, stay right here. Okay, hide right here. Stay right here for a day. Okay. Oh, it's food over there. Go get food from this house. Oh, and then come back to this house. All right. The Lord is going to have even your enemies at peace with you in that day. When all hell is breaking loose. Okay. So you just got to believe and trust in Yahawah Yahawashi and practice these righteous acts. All right, be charitable unto your brothers. Call upon the name Yahawah Yahawashi. All right, pray, fast. All right, because hey, world war is here, and this civil war is coming too. It's coming fast. All right. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the elect, and I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Shalom.